Alright, so what are we doing? I don't know. We're gonna do the usual ballista flower, and then figure out what we're gonna do. It really depends on... Yeah, we needed quality over quantity the last round, but no dice. Okay, this already has some spice to it. Mana bolts right off the bat. It's gonna cost me. But if I can get enough for one mana bank, then it pays for itself. Okay. I guess I'm gonna grab Haunted House. I spent forever and a day besmirching them, and now I feel like they're great. They do take a lot of upgrades, though, but they are worth a lot of money. It's only great if it keeps ringing around itself. Yes and no. One of the biggest problems with Rogue Tower, with the initial house placement, is that you get a ton of houses, which is great. But, do I? No, let's get one of the crits. But they don't do anything. They're just there at the end. And so they don't get a whole lot of EXP, and they're largely just kind of dead weight that exists to make you money. It's worth it, and it's kind of a nice, backup, oh, shoot. Enemies are getting really close to my, my tower. My kind of base towers will just finish them off, even if they're not that strong. However, if you're looping around kind of your core tower area, then your core towers actually get to do stuff. And that works really well. I might die for this. Do we want to get Seance? Screw it. Oh, I should probably get a little bit more. What if houses were a building you could place? Oh god, things would get... It would have to be really expensive. Or they'd have to rebalance the whole damn thing. Because being able to put houses down whenever you want... I guess if it got prohibitively expensive, it would quickly outbalance itself. Personally, I kind of like the randomness of it. Okay, ballistas gain range, which is really good. Yeah, let's go for the range. I'm still not fully sure of what I want to grab, though I have a very distinct idea. This might be a good Frost Tower run. My thoughts are, we have this giant squiggly mess that just kind of loops through a bunch. I could just have Frost Tower, Frost Tower, Frost Towers, just frost constantly. And because of their increased attack speed, based on range, we could potentially have this just awful loop full of nothing but, it's a little premature. This awful loop oh my god. Wow. Okay. Huh. Portal. Will it portal? I don't think it will. It'll only portal if it's stuck. Or if programmatically it thinks it's gonna stuck. If it portals me, that's gonna be hilarious. But no, it's gonna turn. The question is it going to turn twice? Or, is it gonna turn left, go straight, or turn right? If it turns right, this is based run. If it goes here and then splits, still based run, but weird. But no, I don't think it can portal in this current situation. Hey, banditry. Seance level 2 would be nice too, but still, I mean, look at this. This is ridiculous. I think the game has a preset map rather than working it on the fly. No, it absolutely does work it out on the fly. Because you can intentionally, if you have a split, you can, if you're lucky, you can wrap it around and block off other paths and intentionally force a portal. It's not very easy to do, but you absolutely can control at least some of the RNG. The one downside to this, not a single house. Okay. Yeah, the loss of houses is a little bit of a financial hit. It's not a big deal now that I know haunted houses are good, but it would have been nice to get, you know, a couple of houses. And we still have 5 waves worth to get a couple. Okay. Do you have enough towers to kill Oogie? Yes. Main reason being, he has to pass by everything repeatedly. This almost would be a good mortar run. But no. We're just going seance. This is a terrible idea. Look at that. It's turning, but where? If it turns here and then again, or if it splits. Actually, at this point, a split would be a good thing. I think it might have to. Because I don't know where Oogie would spawn if you don't split. Otherwise, this could be a saw blade run. I really do not know where I want to go with this run, because it could do anything. And it's already in such a primo spot that it's actually making it very difficult for me to figure out what I want to do. Does the Ballista only achievement mean no mana siphon? No. Ballista only just means your only attack tower has to be a Ballista, and that's it. Ballistas do extra damage to armor. Yeah. Okay, Oogie can spawn on the tile you place last, if it's the only option. Alright, fair enough. The only other problem that I can say about this is, I think we get less no, I don't think we do. I think it just keeps spawning the same number of enemies. It just keeps spawning them in sequence. Let's see. Not progress. Always most health. There we go. Because, yeah, they have to loop past this tower 1, 2, 3 times, kind of, sort of. That's a lot of points for it to oh, boy. Longbow 2. I mean, the rest of these would be great. I'd like to go for this status effect over Longbow. But no, Longbow. Longbow's a massive DPS increase just because it gives all of my towers way more of a chance to actually hit things. There we go. So what else do we do? Honestly, we just keep waiting. One house isn't bad. I was hoping for more, but this RNG is just so damn good that it's impossible for me to complain. Watch it then loop back around and portal here and then just kill us. That could happen, and has happened in the past. Not to me yet, but I've seen a number of people screenshotting just ridiculously unfortunate portal spawns. Because you can actually death spiral into a portal, it has to lock itself off. At which point it just dumps units on you until you're dead. It'd be fun if it actually gave you a chance and just actually gave you more perk cards, but like, good luck. Oh, this is a beautiful thing. Oogie's gonna have a bad day. Additional slow, extra... Let's go for the extra slow. Mana bolts are good, but not like... I need to care... I need to go out of my way for them at the moment. This is really good level design all the same. Can enemies just walk straight to your tower from the portal? Not over land, but yes? So how would you do an only tower run when the only tower you get at the start is a ballista? You eat the first round's worth of damage. And wait for the upgrade. Oh, right. I was actually going to give that a shot, but not on this map. This map is way too damn good. I think it would be kind of fun to play with. It'd be a little scary if you went Teslas, though, now I'm thinking about it. Doable, but you would be chewing through your juice like nothing. And mana bolts will wreck you if your mana isn't prepared. That's why I always pick mana bank as like the first thing I pick. Because... inherently, no matter what, every run will always need it. Okay. Broadhead bolts? Yes. Hello, Oogie. So yeah, he does just spawn if he has no other choice. It makes sense. Well, in that case, I didn't think about it, but I could totally just get a couple more ballistas just around this area, since every enemy will be looping through here anyway. Blade run. I could. Yeah, no splits means the blade cannot take a wrong turn. It is very tempting. Because I have to make a decision fairly soon. Because we've also got a lot of really good straightaways for flamethrowers to do, like, really solid stuff here. I don't think I want to do... I don't think I want to do particle cannon, because I think particle cannon is better on another map. It wouldn't be terrible here, considering how twisty horrible this is. Blade Frost combo? Nah. I'm going for the achievements that specifically it's like pick one other tower other than Ballista, and that's the one you're locked to. So I'm currently torn between Blade or Frost. Namely because, I mean, see all of these like wild double backs? I could just fill every single one of these with just non-stop Frost. And that would actually be just as good, if not better. I do like the blades, though. Well, it's giving me the Frost Key. Frost it is, then. Alright. Next part is, we can now use my haunted houses. There we go. So, their fire rate increases based on how far their range is, which is really good, also gives me a lot of slow. We're not going to get any status effects off of this, if I remember right, but you can get, like, just tremendous amounts of slow along the way. So... oh, right, we did get a chest off of Oogie. Looks like just 1? 2. And Seance level 3. Anything else? I don't know. Here? Nah. Kind of premature. I probably should get, like, one right here. Or maybe here. Yeah, we'll get one right there. And then let's go make some, start making some mana banks. Because this is going to get really pricey, especially as my ballistas start firing. Gonna focus each tower on one type or nah? Honestly, no. More per se, I just want to level them up a reasonable amount of times because it gets the extra levels, or the base damage, and then the university usually carries the rest. Generally, I focus on shields more than anything else because unlike armor, like armor isn't that big of a deal. Shields are the biggest deal. Missiles to a lesser degree. I guess missiles are what killed me on the biplane run. But I think that was more of a volume issue than a armor specifically. I will say, I think I want to stack a bunch of frost towers. Because certain enemies absolutely can just sneak right past. Then again, maybe a bunch of ballistas set to fastest would also do the trick. Yeah, I think that's actually it. Then I might want to switch my ballistas from most health to just fastest to guarantee maximum distribution. Banditry. We need the money. Oh, there it is. At long last, this split. Well, in that case, I can extend this way and this, hopefully this way. We'll see. Let's get another mana bank. And I don't know. What are we thinking? Another Frostkeep, like, right here? Sure. More snow. Because I don't think they compete with each other. Then I might want to get one right here. But we need more mana banks. Because as my ballistas start firing, we're going to run out of juice faster and faster. There you go. So you're placing frosts before the split or what? Yeah, so I think what I'm going to do, considering how great of a run this is, anything post-split I'm just going to ignore. They're not worth it. Like, at this point I'm so much better off just focusing on this spot here, and this spot here. And, like, maybe this turn. But my kind of inevitable goal is to just have this whole thing just lined with so many snowflakes that enemies have no choice but to hit them. And if I can reduce their speed so much... Let's see, could put a frost at this split. Reduce their speed before they get to anything. That's a good point. Get a couple of those. Should be a game called Rouge Tower where you make a makeup emporium. Okay. I think I want to go down the end of the snow tower path. Oh, let's go this way for the time being. Because I know there's some towards the end. I know there are some towards the end that specifically make it so the enemies are slowed even more dramatically. And if I could get that, I would be a happy camper. Because watching enemies just trying to crawl through blizzards. You know, actually, I would say, I really wish for the range for these things, it would actually turn the tiles white and snowy. I think that would be really neat. And speaking of just random upgrade for these things, I think it would be interesting if snowflakes that don't hit enemies specifically are what cause things to get snowy, and an enemy walking on snow gets slowed, but maybe not as much as a flake. Kind of like landmines, but ice. I don't know. Synergies on this game will make it absurd, if and when we get there. Okay, while we're here, I'm just going to be risk-averse and continue to just put down mana banks whenever I can, and wherever I can. What are we making per round on these things? It's 17, not bad. Wow, and thank you, Sorrel of the Soul, for the 5 gifted subs. Thanks so much. Seems small, but I'd like to see the range of the tower before buying it. Oh, like, if putting it down, you could actually see the square around it? Yeah, I think that would be good. I like the magma traps and orcs must die, but snow? Yeah, kinda. I don't know. Yeah, this is easy. We just need money. Money and time. It's a little slow. Frost keeps gain extra range. All the rest of these would be great, but we want the range. Because now, these things get a pretty hefty attack speed boost based on the number of tiles that they're touching, I think. So if I do that, not great. And it's kind of a fake attack speed boost all the same, but useful. Best over here. I think I might just want to wait. Expand that. Oops. I knew I built a haunted house in the wrong location. There we go. The other thing I should probably do is actually get some ballistas around here, just to capitalize on bonus damage. Generally things just with the most amount of health. We don't need to care about progress. We just want everything that is vulnerable to die. Or just death by 1,000 cuts. You know, if the enemies coming out of this have like no HP, it doesn't matter how strong my ballistas are, they'll just finish them off. Let's see, it looks like another potential +3. There's a +2 there. That's a +2 there. Oh, at the bottom. You mean down here? Yeah, there's 2 +3s. But most enemies aren't reaching it, so I'm focusing most of the brunt of my defenses at this point. For the moment. Once I get a couple more range upgrades, I think I might want to put like 2 frost towers up here. Because they should be able to cover both lanes. Or I could even just put more like in this central location, like around here. With enough range, they could potentially cover just all of that. Yeah, we definitely need some more firepower just aimed at this zone. Yeah, I'm gonna get the bleed damage. Another split. Another terrible gravestone situation. Oh well. I'll probably take this one just to see what pops up, because if this turns and goes down, happy camper. Let's see, what else do we do? Another one here? Sure. Okay, most health. Most health. I'm just gonna kind of line this area with ballistas, frost towers and ballistas, and just slow everything down. Just went and watched some of the line goes up and I need to break. It's a lot to process. I'm a little sad now. Yup. I made the mistake of watching that right before yesterday's stream, which probably determined some of the topics I was talking about. It's fine, but still. Video's doing the rounds, huh? I mean, I've been recommending it a little bit because it is that good. There's a couple of video essays like that where it's just like, yeah, this is actually just something to watch. Easiest comparative example I can think of is actually Bo Burnham's Inside, that I think everybody heard about Inside, but so I didn't feel like I really needed to signal boost that one that much, just because. But that was like last year's video that I think everybody should watch. Video. I mean, yeah, I guess both are the same length now that I'm thinking about it. Okay, so more bleed damage. Because we want to take these to the end. So I'm going to try and go for dehydration first, especially while we're right here. Let's see, we're playing as Russia this round. Norway. I like Norway. I don't think I'd ever live in Norway, but I'd love to visit for a long period of time. Okay, we are starting to run out of juice. And that's really deadly for this run. Because, yeah, if I run out, all my frost towers stop. My ballistas can't shoot. It's a very singular weakness that I have to be a little afraid of. This would actually be a really good run to pair with mortars. Once I've broken out of my, oh, mortars or sprayers. Both would be great. But, you know, mortar is just pointed at slowest. Maybe slowest, maybe not. Probably just whatever has the most amount of health. Because I think it would be absolutely brilliant just having mortars shelling this corner constantly. Okay, we're keeping up a little bit. Honestly, the big issue is the haunted houses. I mean, really the big issue is everything. It's a concerted effort. Okay, I gotta go for the poison bolts first. And then I'm gonna get this here. We haven't even increased the range on it. That's another really good spot to put one of those. Let's see, last haunted house you place is misplaced. Which one? Was it these? I don't think so. Yeah, I think I'm good. I need firebolts now. Collect the entire set. I pretty much have to. And honestly, the extra status effect damage is just worth it no matter what. Even without upgrading the rate, it's still like good deeps. This is shockingly effective, actually. Oh, and if I can get this to loop back. I don't know how far, but if I can get it to loop back and this one to loop somewhere and... I don't know, just this dense, frosty tangle is an exciting run. Let's just keep buffing my mana bank so I've got nothing to worry about. Yes, welcome to Slowtown. I haven't even gotten the upgrades that slow things down even further. Look at them go. Those dang ghosts are always, like, kind of frustratingly tough, but it just does not matter here. More crit, more range, bleed them dry. We've got bleed, so I should probably grab bleed them dry so we can start focusing on a sanguinate. Longbow would be interesting, but not terribly productive. I guess, do we get another frost keep here? Yes. This run is just pure speed limit. School crossing, slow ahead. What is the sign? Slow children ahead, but it looks like an insult. It is really effective. I'm actually quite impressed. This is kind of a consistent train with this game, where my first exposure to a lot of different towers were kind of like, it's okay. And then I have like a certain point where I go back to them and I'm like, alright, let's actually try and make this work. And then it's just absurd. That got a solid Ballista only run going for a while the other day. Yeah, I actually, I beat it with a Ballista only run, for the first run for today. It was good. It was boring. That's the problem. As neat as Ballistas are, they don't really, there's not really a whole lot of depth to them. It's really just status effects and damage. Let's see, like the lightning tower, or is that one kind of bad? Are you talking about the Tesla tower? Tesla tower is actually probably the best. Let's see, Trail of Blood. We're getting early enough that I should probably grab University instead. Okay, that's lined up. That's lined up. A decent amount. What's the win condition? What level? 45. What level are these at? Because one of the main benefits here is because these are slowing enemies down, the more they slow them, the more chances they get to get a hit in. So these frost towers are actually getting a decent base level just by existing. Maybe not this one. This one's doing okay. But like this area especially is just going to be swimming in level ups, comparatively. Yeah, to some degree it doesn't even feel like I need to invest towards my usual strategies, because it just kind of handles itself. I should probably get some more mana banks though. Just guarantee I don't end up in the doghouse by accident. God, they just can't turn that corner. I could even potentially put like a frost keep here for even more. But I think I'd rather put it here. What was the range on that? Not quite enough. Because I think there's like 2 more range upgrades that you can get for them. And if you do, it just covers everything. I want the flaming bolts, but we gotta go for scholarships. The payout on that is just too... What the hell? Okay. The payout on that is just way too good. We might actually have this double back here. Which, I'm not sure what I would do. I'd probably just put a frost tower here. And then maybe a couple of ballistas. But the fact that it loops back again... Ooh, makes it a really solid contender for just bullying a boss. So I'll probably keep extending this until it stops being productive. I'm impressed. And at some point I will level these up. Probably later. Oh, there's a zombie Oogie. Wow, I haven't even done shit to him and he's already like halfway dead. I just had like 3 ballistas in the area to maybe shoot at him. But I mean, they've managed to do a ton of bleed and poison to him, so I mean, it clearly did something. The real tell is once we get up to, you know, wave 35 and plus. Wave 40 is always the spooky one that you have to worry about. But considering I have kind of a secondary defense setup here that is not nearly as good as the other one, but still kind of functional, I can buff it real quick if I need to. He was in range of the frost towers, just here for a bit, yeah. But that was enough. Also, my ballistas slow anything they're shooting at. Okay. All ballistas gain extra range? Yes. Is that the only one? I think so. I want scholarships. But I do want Blizzard, but I want scholarships. There it is. Because that inherent 5% goes very far. Okay. Oh. Underrated spot for a frost tower is actually right here. It's only going to hit this wave, or this lane, but then any enemy that comes back down this area is going to get hit by it again. This would also be a good combo, now that I'm thinking about it, with the obelisk if we wanted to. What do you think of a challenge like stop using money after round 30? I think you would lose. I don't think you could come up... maybe with Teslas. But I think it would be very boring. Where either there would be no answer, or the answer would be just Teslas. Yeah, I think it would just be just Teslas, or you'd have to have really absurd level design that you could have like a couple of poison sprayers that are just beefed to hell as kind of the alternative. But no, I can't imagine, because you make more money from after wave 30 than you do in the entirety of the first 30 waves. I don't think I'm even being hyperbolic with that. I'm pretty sure that's exactly the case. Oh, these guys are actually starting to get past to these defenses. Barely. I mean, look at them. They're on death's door across the board. But it does mean that I need to buff up my defenses here just a little bit. I guess I should probably spend some of this 6,000 gold that I'm sitting on. I don't know what to spend it on, though. Do we upgrade? Do we get more ballistas than anybody has any immediate room for or need for? I don't know. Flaming bolts. I'm gonna keep putting off the decision until it's forced. I'm forced to make it. Oh, that's a good range. And of course, I only have 1 attack damage. I just game. You invest all of your money into shield damage, and then it just doesn't matter. I mean, I guess that's what I can invest in. Hell yeah! Rip cash! There we go. Because that's going to have as much of a payout as anything else. In fact, probably more. I probably should have spread it out a little bit, but whatever. Yeah, being able to shred shields more effectively is going to honestly be the strongest thing that I can possibly choose to do. Let's see, is it possible to get universities up to 100? Yes. Somebody could do the math. It goes up by 20 every upgrade you buy. But yeah, you could feasibly get a university up to 100%. It's just, you really do reach diminishing returns incredibly quickly with that system. Let's see, 10,100 without the scholarships. I mean, that's not so bad. I've pumped more money into less. Let's see. All towers gain crit chance? Yes. Extra bleed chance would be nice. Okay. Not another good university spot. I put all that money into shield and we got double health instead. Everything is nonsense and doesn't make any sense and doesn't need to. It's fine. Oh, 100k, not 10k. Okay, 100k is a lot less viable. Yeah, 10k seemed a little cheap. Because... and you absolutely could solve for it. It'd just be a giant pain to, Oh. 10k is just to get to one thing to 10,000. Okay. I think I'd probably just go for 10k on one. All three would be 90k. Yeah. I think I'd just put most of my money specifically into one for each, because I have 3 different universities. It's only 25k to get it to 50% and then coin flip it. Honestly, I'd leave it at a third and coin flip it. Should I mention I saw someone beat Path 3 today? I've already done that. I did that yesterday. I may not be the most ardent fan of this game, but I am definitely up there. How he's doing. At some point I'll want to level them up so they can absolutely just clobber. Okay, crit, damage to armor, damage to shields. How are we doing crit-wise? I'm 9% on the level 2. This is like 23%, but crit doesn't matter that much. Let's go for the armor again. Okay, and does it turn? Nope. I mean, it does, just not the right way. Keep failing at 3-path, and I'm about to break down and use Teslas. So, I think it's actually pretty doable. I think you can do it with the frost towers. You can definitely do it with the flamethrowers and the sprayers. The flamethrowers and the poison sprayers, if you put them on a straightaway. One thing I realize is that you want to have flamethrowers and poison sprayers shooting enemies in the back as they're running away from you, oddly enough. It was probably easier with the poison sprayers because you get more more slow out of it. Or yeah, you could just go pure Tesla, which just destroys everything, and then you just don't have to think. Yeah, I figured that out immediately. Took me a couple of runs because I wasn't really thinking about it. I just knew everybody was telling me I was doing it wrong, and I was just like too disinterested to actually do it right. Wow. Yeah, we put all of that money into shields, and it's coin flipping me armor damage and health damage instead. Weird game is weird, man. I don't know. What are we thinking? Which of these has the highest rate of fire? This one and this one. This one has the most. Especially if I give it the extra range. Yeah, let's just get both of them up so it's 20 on both. There we go. Ooh, these things are expensive to upgrade. Not that bad. I wonder how much more expensive it gets per upgrade. Because I wasn't really paying attention to that. Okay. All frost keeps gain 10% crit chance. Yes. Okay. So if I do 610, it goes up to 650. So plus 40 per upgrade. That's... it's an amount. Universities. Science. Energy. Power thirst. There we go. Yeah, so that should shred things kind of in my frost zone a little bit more. I think next order of business would be getting a number of ballistas in this area, specifically focused on hitting the fastest enemies, just because there's a couple of the little speed demons that can scoot through. Alright, how are the armor dudes doing? Better than I was hoping they would. Not enough that I need to panic. But better than I thought they would. Okay. Probably invest in this one. There we go. Because honestly, I'm still not too worried about these things. The stragglers that do make it through are just going to get absolutely bodied by everything in their area. Wish there was a priority for explodes into smaller baddies. Oh boy, yeah. Priority for the robots, for the beholders, and for the portals. And like a couple others. Yeah, that'd be lovely. Let's see. Are there snow tower spot in the south? I mean, there's a couple down here. The main thing is, a lot of enemies don't really come past this area, so it's not quite as necessary. Extra poison damage really isn't that helpful, so let's go for Eviscerate. Okay, right. That's what I was going to invest in. I'm just going to get each of these up to like 15-ish. Because they're not paying out as much as I was hoping they would. But then again, currently the foe of the day are robots. Which means I should probably... Let's get back up here and actually start engaging in some other things. I'm doing fine, but I could do better. It's very clear that these are having a little bit of trouble against armor. Well, do I invest in armor? I'll get one of these so it actually does armor damage instead. Yeah, upgrading frost towers is pricey. There we go. That should help a little bit. But I think the most helpful thing would actually be ballistas. Ballistas focus on whatever the fastest thing in the area is. Just to make sure they're that much slower. So is enemy wave composition somewhat randomized? I don't think so. It's pretty predictable. Like 30 is when the robots start showing up. And then they get kind of heavy before lightening off by like 35-ish. Or maybe they don't lighten off, it's just that there's so many other enemies that do the same thing. The one thing is I missed the radars just to finish the couple of mooks off. Those were handy. Okay, mana bolts. Towers. No, Blizzard 2. Let's take a look at this sucker. Yeah, that's some good stuff. Okay, these are not turning. Put that there. Yeah, slowed ghost is slow. Honestly, I could probably put a ballista here. And this one we might actually want to upgrade. I'm gonna have it do most shield. And upgrade it a bunch. There we go. That way, hopefully, it can kind of pop some of the ghosts as they go by. Okay. Fastest. There's a couple of missiles. Yeah, so it looks like the robots are still doing a very good job of not getting slowed here. They're not making it through unscathed, but they're doing a better job than pretty much anything else we need to deal with. just feel like at this point, you kind of want to just have a bunch of these here. Do we have a lower level ballista that I've popped down recently? No, actually, I'm quite impressed. A number of these have naturally leveled up to like a reasonable level here. Instead of fastest, I'm gonna have this guy be most armor. That's just gonna be your job. We don't need too much. Just enough to kind of pop them a little bit. Okay. I'm gonna stand up. Which probably is going to sound kind of weird as I do so. I sit too much for my job. And I've got... Oh. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I sit far too much for my own good. And it's quite uncomfortable, actually. Let's grab Trail of Blood. Because we want to get a Sanguinate. I don't actually know how necessary it is, because this is a pretty strong run all the same. Let's grab this. Ooh, yeah, if I can get this to loot back, that'd be lovely. But yeah, I sit far too often for my job, and far too much, and it's kind of uncomfortable. And it's something I've been wanting to change a little bit more of. Let's see. Dude, if I put this here, what's its range? Almost enough. It doesn't get any of the bonus damage or the bonus range. But it's a good spot all the same. It doesn't hit this one section. But that's fine. Okay, let's just have this one be armor damage. We'll just go back to this. There we go. So do you have a standing desk or just do a posture check? I have a standing desk. I don't actually remember the name of it. It's just a desk I got from IKEA with just like a little kind of lever thing that you press and it raises it and lowers it. And so I can do it pretty much whenever I want, just have to push my chair back, stand up, and I put on some slippers so I don't hurt my feet. Because it wrecks my feet if I'm standing for too long. It does actually, it's kind of hard on my legs, but I think that's just because I've been so damn, static over the last 2 years and haven't been doing anything. You know, I've been trying to get out here and there, but it's not like I was going hiking too much. Which is something I very much want to change starting this year once I move back to the Northeast. Let's see. Might actually want to get another Frostkeep here. Just turn this into snow hell. Let's see. Programmer here and I get in the zone and forget to eat. Posture check wouldn't work for me. I should get a standing desk. It's worth it. Though you forget it a lot. Same thing with the under the bike desk. Like, it's very much something you have to really consistently remember. Did I never expand that? I didn't. That's fine. These are all trash. I guess I'll grab the mine. I don't like it when it does this to me. It's like, hey, you want any of these new towers? And it's like, no. Oh, wait, no. This is up high. That's why I can't. Ooh. 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 I don't know. I might just let this one kind of do its thing. Maybe just armor and shield. Okay. Yeah, because I want to turn this into this just absolute terrible hellscape. Ooh, nice thing is the snow particles are starting to spawn up here too, which is why these things are getting shredded. Have I leveled this at all? Not really, no. I should probably just invest mostly into shield damage, since this is one of the first ones. It's kind of expensive too, but it's fine. The other thing I should probably do is just get some more mana banks. Probably up here. We got very few universities here. I think I have 6. They're still paying dividends, don't get me wrong, but they're not quite as good as I was hoping they would be. Yeah, now it looks like the robots are getting shredded. Kind of. There's a couple that sneak by for a while. Interestingly enough, though, yeah, we're not even using it sanguinate. It's just they're so slow and they're getting just bodied by all of my shots, so it doesn't matter. Watch him melt. Okay. Yeah, so now what? Honestly, just scale up. I think I might get another Frostkeep here and just kind of do whatever. You put the standard level of upgrades in the 3 newest ones. I think so. Wait, there's another blizzard. All towers gain damage to armor, which is good, but I want the range. 24, 30. Oh, no. These are the new ones. 15, 15, and 15, 16. So I could invest more into them, but I don't know how much it matters. Do mana banks also act as siphons? They don't. I just, I would honestly say that they're better, though. Mainly just because there's only so many siphon spots that even spawn in the game. Whereas you can put mana banks anywhere. And they only cost 100 more, which I think is a very fair surcharge for that level of flexibility. Isn't armor more of a problem now than shields? Yes. Currently. But here's the thing. Armor is not a problem at the moment. Almost every enemy that I'm dealing with that has armor is already solved. Like, they're not making it past this point. So while I could invest more into countering armor, it would do nothing more than push them back a little bit further. It's... I don't want to call exactly survivorship bias, but very much armor is a trap. Where you think armor is a problem, but it's not. Armor is hardly even an issue that is not worth considering for the most part, because it peaks at wave 35, give or take. And that after wave 35, it's almost all shielded enemies, and lots of them. And so while it's super tempting to specifically go for, you know, more counters to armor, it didn't really help that much. Wow. Look at the range on these things. Yeah, I could fill this entire central area with Frostkeeps. More snow! Just go nuts. Except for the portals, which have 10k of all 3. It's true. Though I noticed it's easier to do armor damage than shield damage, and I'm not quite sure why. Maybe it's just because at that point I've already figured the counter for it. Yeah, armor also shows up earlier among enemies, allowing you to level it up passively beforehand. Shield seems to only get much worse. Yes. Well, Robo Oogie will get here eventually. I don't know, let's give him a friend. There we go. Have you done a Shredder only run? I've tried a couple of them, but did not succeed. That said, I'm in the market to try again, especially now that I know what I know and have generally improved. It takes a while for him to get anywhere. As the one downside to this run, it's so damn slow. This game needs a ×2 speed multiplier. There's nothing I can do at the moment. I'm just sitting and waiting and watching. That's fine, but I could definitely use for like a speed up button. It's like, just kill Oogie already. His death is assured. Eventually. Watch him oog. Wish you could like click on him and just like follow him. Oh, he gets a burst of speed because his armor is gone, and then he's freaking dead. Alright, banditry level 3. Yeah, sure, why not? I forgot that I didn't even have that one yet. Huh. I could go even further out here if I want to. Which Just gonna click on enemies to override target priority like you can in Gemcraft. You know, I have never actually messed around with that. I need to play some more Gemcraft. Oh, right, he drops chests. Probably not many. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, all towers getting crit chance? I'd go for that, but I don't think that matters. I think I'm just gonna chill. I definitely wish there was a structure. Wow, that was loud. I wish there was a structure where you could actually spend money to get upgrades. I realize that would be kind of busted, but it'd be kind of fun all the same. Because often I find myself having too many cards and I'm not able to fill my build out. Isn't the university a bad version of that? It is, but like there's a couple like a sanguinate and I'm like, I'm not sure if that one's gonna show up here. And it might not. I don't know. Wow. Yeah, they're just not getting past. This isn't even like peak build. We've leveraged like an okay amount, but for the most part, like we don't have Sanguinate, we don't have Expunge, we don't have whatever the burn variant is. It's very much just this kind of awkward shooting gallery of just tons of damage, constantly just chipping away at foes. I was really hoping to get the upgrades that make it so that the Frost Towers slow them even further, but those have not shown up, and I'm not quite sure what I need to invest in to grab them. Something like Treasure Portal spawns one chest at the end of a round, but only if 1,000 mana is available. Ooh, that'd be interesting. Yeah, it really forces you to just generate gobs of mana, but it would work out really well. Hey, increase maximum slow percentage by 10%. That's what I've been looking for. Now what do I do? More snow. I just want the path here to be just a wall of pure white. It is definitely chunking my mana down. That is the one downside to this. Let's just make this run even slower. Yeah. I should probably get some other things. This would be, like I said, this would be a fun build to pair with something else, maybe. Like, particle cannons. Or the planes. I feel like the planes especially would be really good. Eternal Suffering build. I could just walk off and leave this on auto if there was an auto mode. And at this point, I mean, it really depends on wave 40. Because once wave 40 spawns, then we'll know. I don't think it's that much of a big deal one way or another. I'm just thinking, could I not spend another diamond win at this point? It's dodgy. I think I'd be okay. I like the mortars a lot combined with ice towers too. Yeah, my big problem with it is you can't fill the build out for like multiple towers in that way. I guess if I didn't build for ballistas at all, maybe it'd be fine. But trying to pair like 2 towers, like you really only can get finished with one tower and then halfway down the next. And even then it's kind of tough. Oh, score is 666. Nice. Hail Santa. Okay. Burn. Crit. Frostbite. Because crit is kind of nice, but it doesn't help that much. Frostbite is mostly pointless, and I don't think I'm going to be able to take it all the way to the end. So yeah, let's just go quality over quantity. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know. Here. Because it'd be great if I could get it to loop back here somehow. It's not going to happen, but it could. The problem is, this is such a busted run that it's become boring. Which, like, I think that's actually a really nice place to be in a game. That if you can get so strong that the game becomes uninteresting, that means that you've won. And then it's just a matter of process. The problem is I'm here for another 7 waves. I don't know. Whatever. What the hell? Are you sure? I don't think it's 10,000 to bring one of these up to 100%. Because at this point it's... Yeah. Is it 100k just to get one of these? To 100%. Because there's... It's not 100k for all 3. 100k just to max 1 stat. Okay, I was wondering about that. Because that's... goofy expensive. Because, yeah, with the sheer volume I'm working with, I think it's more valuable for me to just have... Well, I mean, honestly, it's more valuable for me to upgrade these things. You know, the other thing I'd say, I'd go so far as to say, is that you could actually invest towards health damage as well. And have about the same effect from the universities. You just have to upgrade shield damage. Because I notice I'm upgrading my health damage almost as much as my shields. I don't know. Blah. But that might just be me seeking symmetry more than anything else. Gold Rush. 750 gold. That's just so useless. I don't know. Let's go for the poison damage. I guess I should probably have invested in that a long time ago. Okay. Wave 39. Okay. So I think I'll get health damage up to 20, and then shield damage until crit hits 50%. Gold Rush will speed up the run, though. I know, but I feel like Gold Rush should actually just increase your overall gold gain by 10%. Not just a flat 750, because the flat 750 is almost insulting. It's like, hey kid! You know, I'll give you, oh gosh, what's a good example? I don't know. Hey kid, I'll give you 2 quarters if I get to kick you in the shins. And it's like, what? And in this case, like, you know, my shins are heavily armored, but even then, that's an insulting fee to offer to anyone. Yeah, some number times current round. It would have to be somewhat exponential, though. There we go. Should be good. Welcome to Snow Hell. Most things aren't even making it to this corner anymore. And balancing flat amounts that are busted late versus percentages that aren't totally broken late game is hard. Oh, absolutely. I think it's in a mostly fine spot, but still. Watch a grandpa try to kick armored shins without the pocket change. I mean, that's the entertainment value, but I don't know. There's absolutely, like, old man strength that you kind of need to watch out for. Because, like, you think old man, you know, probably doesn't kick that hard. But old man might kick like a mule and you don't know. Or he destroys himself, at which point it's just kind of sad. Yeah, you could also have tier 2 and 3 cards that give exponentially more. It's true. I guess let's go for Vile Consumption, just because. Nope. Yeah, never gonna turn right back around. Because, yeah, there's a nice slot there. This was such a good spawn, and it didn't need to be. Like, that's one of the wild parts about this run so far, is that I was given an absolute treasure trove location, and I used maybe an eighth of it. Because it just didn't matter. This would have been an amazing run for actually a no ballista challenge or a ballista only challenge. Because you really could have used the run up for quite a lot of things. I'm just going to turn the UI off. Because, yeah, even those little eyeballs are just getting shredded. Let's zoom in a little bit. I guess they're making it, but here's the thing. The same damage they're taking here is applied over here, too. Like, they're not going to make it. There's no way. They're just going to sadly melt. Your Winter Wonderland is doing a great job. It really is. It's nuts. Like, there was a little bit of a concern going into this, and it's like, yeah, how viable are frost towers? And the answer is they're ridiculously viable. This is just Teslas with more steps. It's true, but I'd actually say that this is a safer bet than Teslas to some degree. Because with Teslas, the enemies have a decent chance of zipping past between their shots. In this one, they have no chance. You know, there's just too many of them. They are getting past a little bit. Okay. Wow, a robot made it by. How the hell? And that's about as far as they went. So here's the question. Do I get more frost keeps? Yes. Is this sane? No. But let it snow. Let it snow, my dudes. I can't wait. I can't wait to have to live in an area that gets a lot of snow again. I like the lack of snow in the Northwest. It's quite nice not having to worry about shoveling or inclement weather. But at the same time, you don't really go outside during the rain, during the winter. Like, you're kind of trapped. Sure, why not? When we do get snow, it is exciting, though. Very true. Though I usually still don't mess with it, because it's not like the snow is particularly... Like, the snow... The act of it snowing is exciting, but the snow itself is not. Oop. Oh, no. There we go. I was really hoping that this would multiply the particle effects further. Maybe it does, but I wanted this to just be a sheet of solid white. We got 16 inches of snow. It sucked. And I think there's two reasons why that much snow sucks. It sucks mostly if you actually have to deal with it in the moment. It's not nearly as problematic if you don't. And so, like, from my perspective, you know, snow, however heavy, doesn't really affect me because I'm not going anywhere. But if you actually have to get out and go to work, especially in the middle of a blizzard, like, that shit sucks. And honestly, I think our society just needs to change around the idea of, oh man, it's really snowing outside. Every place just closes. You know, maybe the hospitals and, you know, plowing services and stuff stay open. But, like, freaking McBurger? No, that doesn't need to be open. Yeah, kids have school, wife has to go to work the following day. I don't know. As a kid, I always remember wanting those snow days because school wasn't that important, right? You know, I'd much rather just have the snow day and make it up another day. And there was kind of this constant struggle with the school administration, the idea of like, no, you know, we have to get the kids into school today. And I get it, I understand it, Hasn't Zoom school made snow days obsolete though? See, I think snow days should almost become kind of, I don't want to say sacred, but the idea of like, if it is a snow day, maybe you do like a quick like Zoom get together if you need to, but for the most part, it is a snow day. Take the vacation, enjoy your life. Especially nowadays with, you know, COVID and whatnot, is that like there's a lot of kids that might not grow up in the best environments, and I'd rather waste a day. You know, I'd rather we as a society waste a day of productivity to live a little than miss it forever, if that makes sense. Yeah, my kid gets packets to do for them, and they can be done before the snow day. See, that's the way to do it, and that's a good way of doing it. Bleed, burn, I don't know. We don't need trail blood too. I need the research breakthrough. I guess that's probably the most powerful damage bonus rather than all the other ones. Radar tower. My dude, this is not a radar tower run. This is snow and only snow. But that, like, I missed so many snow days back as a kid because school had to be open for no reason. But, like, nobody would get anything done. Half the teachers wouldn't be in school. Half the students wouldn't be able to make it. And everybody would just be watching the snow outside wondering, hey, are we going to get sent home early? And it was just kind of this weird wash. And instead they could have just, yeah, sent out packets, homework, whatever. Okay, just do this, do, you know, these problem sets or whatever. And if you have any questions, you can call the teacher on Zoom and be like, hey, what? But, you know, anybody that can learn on their own, total free day, just get this stuff done. But go outside, spend time, stay home, play video games, keep warm, not worry about it. Same thing with, you know, people working office jobs. Like, you guys don't need to work every single day of your lives and, like, rushing a snowstorm just to get to work. When you might even be able to do a lot of that stuff in person. Same thing with, like, fast food and a bunch of other stuff. It's like, yeah, school needs to be in because the parents' job won't let them stay in and they need childcare. And that's what I'm kind of advocating for, that I'm not advocating just for kids. I'm advocating for everyone. That, kind of like, what's a good example? Kind of like how Christmas and Thanksgiving, in the US at least, used to be, it always felt like Christmas, Thanksgiving, and a couple other holidays were very much like, you never do work during this time period. It's just always kind of a holiday. Like, yeah, there were a couple of places that were open. You know, Chinese restaurants are open on Christmas. That's just kind of a thing that happens. But I would love to see us as a society normalize not working on like a really, like during really inclement weather. You know, oh, tornadoes? No, we don't. Put it off. The packages can be slow. The deadline can be pushed back a little bit. It's not that important. Go live. Let's see. What do we do? Hey, creeping cough. It's probably useless and not that helpful here, but I'm gonna grab it anyway. What I really want is expunge, but we will see. And part of the reason why I'm thinking about this is that over the last X number of years, you know, I very much kind of had embraced grind culture. You know, streaming every day for 8 hours straight. And, like, today is technically one of my days off, but I'd taken Friday off so I could go hiking. And that, like, I threw myself into the deep end on that. And I feel like I kind of missed out on a tremendous amount of... I feel like I missed out on a tremendous amount of my late 20s working, and like to some degree I don't regret it too much because what I got in return was kind of worth it. But now that I'm getting a little older and, you know, kind of burnt out really hard as a result of all of it, it's just like, oh yeah, that was really freaking bad for me. Oh yeah, that 26 global shield damage is solid. Wow, that must have ticked up really fast over the last couple runs. Well, that's just melting the boulders like nobody's business. But, so, you know, I'm very much looking forward to having kind of a little bit more flexibility going forward. Because, you know, I myself am kind of in this position, this, like, headspace of, like, man, I wish I could actually, like, live a little outside of just work. And some amount of that is just more work, but in a different framework. Like, I'd love to write. Just write my own novels and stuff. And I work on that casually, and I've been working on that for a better part of a decade. But, you know, having more time to just kind of work on that sort of thing is a huge boost. Same thing with, frankly, playing video games on my own. I was talking about playing Death Stranding and also Pokemon recently. Just playing that at least partly on my own for Pokemon at least. We're doing a series on it, but I'm spending a lot of time chucking Pokeballs at Bidoofs in between recording sessions, and it is actually like really cathartic to just kind of be. But that having the ability to just be on my own terms is kind of massive. I think a lot of this is actually specifically a direct response to streaming. And I don't want to say like streaming is necessarily like the main issue, but like streaming on Twitch, the moment you stop streaming, you're offline, no one can find you. And that's not quite true. I actually get a lot of followers between streams, and I'm not quite sure why. I'm assuming it's a lot of lurkers that just don't want to be acknowledged because they'd rather just, you know, follow quietly and not be bothered. Or it could be any number of other reasons. Or, yeah, it could be YouTube. Ah, vile consumption. Would we still not have the... Well, I guess we don't. I guess I'll just do vile consumption all the same. Boy, I have a lot of money and I have no idea what to spend it on. I know what to spend it on. More snow. Well, there goes a lot of my money. Do I level them up? Nah, not at this point. I don't need to. More blizzard. Get frosty. Let's see. Also, probably your YouTube game. The algorithm brought me to the vids and now the streams. That makes sense. And honestly, my number one advice always to prospective streamers is start a YouTube channel. It sounds weird, but it actually works really, really well. But so, like, from a Twitch perspective, as much as I love streaming, as soon as I'm off, and say if I take a couple days off, or a week off, or a couple weeks off, like, inherently, there's kind of that loss that people will find somebody else to watch, or whatever game that I was streaming may lose popularity, or somebody else kind of takes over. So, like, I stepped away for I stepped away just as Slay the Spire got really, really popular. And so I went from being the only guy that would stream it for like 2 months to, holy shit, you know, here's like a gazillion more people streaming the game. And I went from being, I don't want to say top dog because that's not it, but, you know, I went from being the Slay the Spire guy to being not even a Slay the Spire guy because there were so many other people kind of in that field at that point. It's not a problem necessarily beyond just, you know, it's kind of this, like, it puts you in that weird unhealthy mindset. How's your mana? Pretty much untouchable. I should probably boost some more after this wave, at the end of this wave and stuff, but yeah. Like Rhapsody and other people have 1,000 episodes of Slay the Spire and so much more stream stuff. Yep, it's totally fine, but it's kind of one of those where it's like, it almost feels like, as live streamers, we are punished for taking vacations in a very unique way that I'm sure many other jobs kind of have the same issue, but you don't have to worry about the dip as much. And so, I think I'm specifically restructuring my head a little bit of like, yeah, if I needed to take a day off, it's okay to. If it's going to take me 10 days to cross the US instead of 5, just so I don't have to, like, burn myself out at the wheel, then I think I will, and, you know, not rush that too much. This is such a silly run. I can't wait to try something with a little bit more pow, though. This is so slow. It's fine. It's worth it. It's a great run, but I'm never doing this again. Let's see. You don't really have seasons and breaks between seasons like traditional media, do you? Like Saturday Night Live gets to take time off in a way you don't. Yup. There's a couple of creators that I know that do. Honestly, the most powerful thing I can get is slow but sure. We don't have expunge, so I might as well make the most of it. And bam. Oh, right. I got 20,000. Shield damage is 30. It still feels like the RNG on that is really trolly. Let's see. How many mana banks can I get? I'm just going to do like weird mana bank patterns all over the place and just do my thing. But the creator Scott the Waz, I know he takes like January. Does he take like the first 3 months of every year off? I thought it was something to that extent. Where is Oogie Brain? Oh, this is the longest path. Really? Oh, because I... Huh. That doesn't feel... No, I guess it is. But so I know Scott the Waz specifically, I think is at least supposed to take off like the first couple months of every year. Largely just because ad rev on YouTube is garbage during that period of time. It's getting better actually, shockingly enough, but it's like it's a 50% drop. So to some degree, unless your channel is like reliant on putting out content constantly, like mine is, for somebody is like, I don't want to say viral, but as like monolithic as him, yeah, he could totally just take time off, and I think that works for him. But I think for a lot of other creators, especially streamers, you really can't do that. Because unless you're somebody like mega big, or just like a famous YouTuber and you just put out a stream announcement whenever you're streaming and everybody's just gonna flock to it anyway. For the most part, there's kind of that feeling of like, no, you have to keep the grind constantly. There we go. And so, oh gosh, what was it? Which was the streamer? I don't actually remember which streamer it was. But I know there was talk of like a couple over the last couple years. I'm just gonna put it all into health damage because that shield multiplier is stupid. There we go. I just turn this back off. I don't need to care about money. Nothing lives. This is the absolute most boring build you can possibly do, but it sure is effective. I'll give it credit for that. But when the Twitch leaks came out last fall, there were a number of articles kind of talking about like how much some of these people worked, like 80 hours live a week, or something to that extent, plus YouTube work and other things. And there goes Big Brain Oogie, because it's not actually... The bosses in this game are chumps. It's really strange. But yeah, so hearing about all these streamers that are taking, like, just working constantly always blows my mind a little bit. Winter in Wisconsin. Oh, I should name these episodes after the challenge I'm doing. That'd be a good idea. Well, I have a lot of EXP that I wish I could spend on something interesting. But at the same time, too interesting and it just would get boring. Well, I think it's time for particle cannons probably, or encampments. Definitely nothing that slows enemies down to that extent though, because ugh.